Okay, people. This is a big one. Uh, Welcome to this podcast on ENTV. A couple of days back, the 51st Ooni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Enitan Ogunwusi, the Ojaja, the second of Ile-Ife, unveiled his wife to the public, and his new wife, uh, who is said to be a prophetess, is, according to records, named Queen Shilekunla Moronke Naomi. Uh, Before I come back to this, I would like to give you some time to watch as the Oni actually unveiled his new wife, the traditional rites, the ceremonies that went down. I'd like you to see for yourself. Just hold still. I'll be back soon. We couldn't lay hands on the video, a comprehensive video. This is a slideshow by Face TV, and it just captures the ceremony in different phases before the queen was eventually unveiled, or rather, the ceremonies that went on before she became officially known as the King's Queen. This part shows the radiance and the glowing radiance of the Queen in different attires inside the palace. Uh, she's said to be 25 years old, a prophetess, although her marriage to the king had raised a lot of dust in the society. A lot of people are feeling rather different, rather indifferent with their opinions. Some people are of the opinion that as a prophetess with a Christian background and belief, it was just unheard of for her to get married to a traditionalist. Anyways, I think that this thing called religion and beliefs, or religious beliefs, are rather left for individuals to make their own decisions. Uh, but like I said, the slide that you just watched has shown exactly how it all happened. Now, this is also a part of the slideshow. It's a video, this part showing the prophetess on the pulpit. You know, I don't know what I want to call this. Is it that she's prophesying or what? But I think that's it about what brought about the queen, or the new queen. Now back to our business for the day. Earlier in the day, something happened. Don't forget that after the king had unveiled his queen, a lot of people have begun to air their opinions. But before then, also, let us not forget that the king was once also married to Queen Zainab Otiti Obano. Yes, I hope I get that name correctly. Uh, but earlier today, something happened. I'm going to bring you a quote by, do we say ex queen? Yes, ex queen Zainab, on social media. that everyone is talking about. Here's the quote, and I'm going to read directly from her. He said, "It was once said that there is nobility in compassion, beauty in empathy, and grace in forgiveness. Congratulations to the Ooni and his new bride, Shilekola Naomi Moronke Oluwaseyi. May God bless your union." Uh, that statement was credited to Queen Zainab, whom also coincidentally was once married to the Ooni before their marriage hit the rock. And for the purpose of records, the Ooni is now in his third marriage, as we already know that he was once married before he got the crown as the Ooni of Ife. But something caught my attention, or the attention of some people on social media, and that was when, from her quote, it looked like Queen Zainab had actually forgiven the Ooni of Ife. So now it's very funny because we don't get to know the details of their breakup. But if she's saying she's forgiving the Ooni, well, that's a good thing to do. It's Christian-like, But comedian, or Nigeria's top comedian, Ali Baba, said something. Ali Baba said, for this post, he actually put it up on his Instagram account, and he said, for this post, no matter what anyone says, at H.A. Zainab, that is the former queen's handle, we have come to Lagos. I owe you lunch in any restaurant of your choice. Ali Baba had asked the former queen on a lunch date in Lagos anytime she is there. Now that brings us to a very important part of the Ooni's life. We have tried to get some very detailed information as to the traditional ruler, who is like the paramount Yoruba king or Yoruba monarch. And one question that is here, which I'd love, is who is the Ooni of Ife? First of all, in trying to break this down, I'd like to go down memory lane. It begins with the title Ooni. Ooni is traditional ruler of Ife, or that title of Ooni it means traditional ruler of Ife, and that traditional ruler of Ife title belongs to, at the moment, belongs to no other than Adeyeye Enitan Ogunwusi, who is now the current Ooni of Ife. He was born in October 17, 1974. He is said to be the fifth direct descendant of the ruling family of Giesi. Giesi is the ruling house of Ile-Ife, and he was coronated as king, or as the Ooni, in December 7th, 2016, to become the 51st Ooni of Ife. Now, according to the writer here, he describes Adeyeye as, to translate to me, a crown fit for a king. Wow. So it is no news when it turned out that he became king. So the crown fits him. Now, another thing we also need to know about the Ooni is about the woman who had managed to capture his heart all those years ago. Like I said before, the Ooni is been married 3 times, and 2 of his marriages are said to be crashed now, who have crashed now rather, and this is his 3rd shot to marriage, and we wish him all the best. According to our research here, before he became the Ooni of Ife, I like to read straight from the script here. Before he became the Ooni of Ife, Ogunwusi got married to a woman named Adebisi Adebukola Bombata. I don't know if I got that right. Also known as Bukola or Buki, in 2007 or 2008, as the report varies. Yeah, No one knows if it's too. We're not so sure. According to the writer on legit.ng, they're not so sure if it was in 2007 or 2008. So that's why we have the reports vary. To this day, almost nothing is known about her, which seems very surprising for the woman in her position. However, the story of Ooni of Ife's marriage is not a happy one. So maybe that is why we could find very little about Ooni of Ife's first wife. Pretty much as soon as he received his crown, things went downhill in terms of his marriage. Legit.ng reported that Bukola could not bear children. Anyways, like you've heard, apparently things didn't go well with him and his first wife. But I am surprised at what I am reading here when they said Legit.ng reported that Bukola could not bear children, which meant that she could not give his parents, Imperial Majesty, a son who would later inherit the throne. For this reason, she could not be made the official queen. Wow. But if Bukola could not actually bear children, report also has it that she has a daughter who happens to be the Ooni's favorite. As a matter of fact, the daughter's name here is Adeola Anuoluwapo Ogunwusi, and she was born in May 1994. Now, they said for this reason she could not be made the official queen. She was also reportedly reduced to a commoner. Wow, that's sad. According to the elites, Bukola did not even stick around after the coronation. They claimed that she flew to the UK straight away after the ceremony. Apparently, Bukola and her husband got into a fight and she slapped him in front of his own father. This was deemed highly inappropriate and unforgivable, and it served as the final nail in their marriage coffin. Sometimes when it comes to history of a people, it becomes very, very important that we are so careful. We'll put out some reports, but I am just, for the record, this is the report that is just available for the public to see there, and that is why we're trying to run some sort of down memory lane on the Ooni. And according to this report here, it said two things which are kind of confusing. One is she couldn't bear, the first wife ever, Bukola, could not bear children. But why I'm surprised is Bukola has a daughter. So if you say she cannot bear children, what happened? How did she get a daughter? Was she adopted? Well, I don't know. We don't have that details right now. And then the second one is that it was reported she got into a fight with her husband and then slapped him in the process in front of his own father, which is regarded there, according to the writer, as a taboo, and that was what eventually ended the marriage in an unceremonious manner. Now, the Ooni is said to have had his daughter Adeola at a very tender age. Well, they said he had her when he was 19. As a matter of fact, here is how the writer put it. If you have already done the math, you would not be surprised to learn that His Imperial Majesty had her, that is Adeola, when he was just a teenager at mere 19 years. Now, according to Wikipedia, that's another thing that's so very confusing here. According to Wikipedia, Adeola's mother, who is the Ooni's daughter, is Omolara Olatunbosun and not Bukola, as you might have expected. That is to say, Adeola actually was not born by the Ooni's first wife, as widely acclaimed. That said, this was by far the most reliable source of this info. I take that again. That said, this was by far the most reliable source of this information. So take it with a grain of salt. Well, I think that's just all things considered. The young princess is making her parents proud. She first spent a year at the American University of Nigeria before moving on to study in the UK. However, while we have conflicting reports as to who actually was Adeola's mother, I have another video here of the Ooni of Ife's one of his birthday celebration, and I'm going to leave you to it. I want you to see what happened at one of his birthday celebrations and how it all happened. I just want you to see the video, the honor given to him, how he landed with an helicopter in a very kingly manner. He arrived at the venue of a novelty match, and he kicked. You see how he kicked the ball there to mark the beginning of the match, and that's how it is. That's the slideshow right there, showing the Oni in celebration mode. I just want you to go through this video. It's an unprofessional video, so pardon the shaky show of images and all that. So I just leave you to go through this video for some time, and then I'll be back. In that Shinopela there, giving the Oni a befitting welcome to the venue of the celebration. That is signing of the football, the autograph on the football. Those are other traditional rites being carried out during his 44th birthday. He did several visitations, and he was also visited by eminent personalities across the country. There were several traditional rites, traditional celebrations, all of which heralded his 44th birthday celebration. And yep, that was Fuji King Wasiu Ayinde during the celebration, performing at the event to the delight of the people, singing the Ooni's praise as he normally does. That is it, and that is it, and that is it, and that is it. That is it. Right now, the big question that I want to ask is, what really has the queen forgiven the Ooni of? Has she forgiven him of separating from her, or probably, okay, has she forgiven him for leaving her? Has she forgiven him for probably breaking his heart, yes, as portrayed in the media generally? What exactly is she forgiving him for? For marrying another wife? What really happened? We don't really get the details, but the big question here is, what really is the queen for the ex-queen forgiving the Ooni of Ife? Okay, let me leave you with that as a food for thought. But if you are yet to subscribe to our channel, please do that right away by clicking the subscribe button and clicking on the bell sign beside it, so that you get notifications wherever we post exclusive videos. Don't forget, we are ENTV, and we do these things better than anyone else. Thank you.